What up, YouTube? Okay. Ballin. What is the definition of ballin? This is not even going to be a long video. I talked to my uncle. I asked him, I was like, yo, uncle, I know there's doing well, and then there's ballin. Let's be real. Would you consider yourself to be ballin? He said no. He wishes he was, but he's not. He's doing, incredibly well. That's how he put it. Now, I asked him, well, what would it take for someone to be considered to be ballin'? He said, if you don't have at least $500,000, okay, to lose, and not necessarily lose, but to have a $500,000 that you can have tied up in some sort of venture or some investment for an extended amount of time, you're not balling. And he said, if you can't afford to take a hit, a $500,000 hit, you're not balling. Okay, so it's not about just, investing a $500,000 or just having a $500,000 to necessarily, invest or play with. It's this whole idea of being able to move on as normal if you lost that money. Okay, it's about saying, yeah, man, I just lost a $500,000, but my life is pretty much the same. It is what it is. I'm going to keep moving on. If you're not in that position, you're not balling. And he said that's the base level. The guys that he says he deals with in terms of, his job and the people he meets, they're the type that can have $1 million tied up in different things. Now, obviously, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. But these are the type of dudes that they have $1 million in all sorts of different ventures and investments, and it's tied up here, and it's for significant amounts of time. So they may have, $100K that they know is going to get tied up for the next 10 years because you have to do what? Give it time to grow. But with that being said, these same men can turn around and lose everything. All their investments and their side ventures could, go belly up. So they're out of $1 million, but guess what? Their life is still, going on as normal. Okay, they're not worrying about, oh shit, honey, we can't retire anymore. Honey, we can't pay the bills anymore. Honey, we can't afford to send our kids to the private school now. Their personal lives isn't touched. So what I'm trying to say is it's play money. What's play money for those who, gamble here and there? It's money that you don't mind losing. It's money that you say, hey, if I lose it, I lose it. Everything is still going to be, taken care of. Right? Sometimes when we would go to the casino in college every now and then, and we would all make sure we had play money. There would be no ATM cards. So if you lost what your play money was, you lost your play money. Okay? We had a choice. It was either, take some chick out to the movies and to, dinner and, blow maybe $60, $70 or, buy a pair of shoes or an outfit or just go gambling. Okay? And that's what we did. Right? But it was play money. So if we won off of it, it was a great night for you. If you lost, it is what it is. Right? You're still going to be able to pay your bills. So balling is when you have play money that is at least a $500,000. At least. He was talking about how some people are on $250,000, but for him, he more thinks that it's more so $500,000. That's when you're really significant. That's when you're seen as, a power player. Okay, and you're talking about getting into the international market. Okay, you're worrying about big time stuff. Mind you, the big boys only play with big boys. It is what it is. If you want to eat at the table, if you want to get down, if some company or somebody's looking for business partners, he's not going to go, fundraising money like you're fundraising to send your class to, camp, summer camp. We're selling cookies. Hey, you want to be part of this? No, it's some big time shit. They're looking for people who can put down significant amounts of money. But in terms of your return, it's great. See, my uncle just can't, go to some investor sort of, dinner or proposal where people are putting down, $200,000 in terms of invest in seed money. He's not there yet, and that's what upsets him. So as of right now, he's doing well. He has, the vacation home, the remodeled home. He has savings. He can retire right now if he wanted to. The college, tuition stuff set up for his 2 kids. But in terms of balling, he's definitely not there. Okay? I mean, this is very important because you could have a business, but not necessarily be balling. Okay? It is what it is. You have to factor in how much you make, but you also have to factor in your monthly expenses. Okay, so if somebody simply says, yeah, I'm making $1 million a year, does that mean that they're balling? It depends. If they have, $500,000 worth of bills to pay, or, a lot of shit that they have to pay for and get done, probably not. Mind you, we're talking about play money. We're not talking about money you need. We're not talking about important money. We're not talking about money that you're gambling with, and if you lose, a bill's not going to get paid, or you're going to be hurting. Like I said, honey, we can't retire anymore. Honey, we have to sell the vacation home. Honey, we have to downsize. Honey, I don't think we can pay for Randy to go to a private school. He may have to, pick up some of his own bills. I don't know if we can continue to support him. Right? It is what it is. So people who are balling, that's not an issue. It's completely separate. So hopefully, this adds to the discussion, because I really think that, especially in the black community, we're so not knowledgeable in terms of money and wealth, even though we talk about it so damn much, but we don't even understand what it is. So we literally take doing well and act as if we're balling. People who are on fixed incomes, barely reaching the 6-figure marks, turn around and act like they're balling. But at the end of the day, how much money can you invest? If somebody said, Joe, you trying to get in, you're going to need at least $50K, right? Do you have that available? And if you do, can you lose it? Or can you say, I have $50K tied up in some sort of investment, and I'm not going to necessarily see a return in the next 5 or more years? Are you in a position to do that? Right? So then, you're not even low-key balling. So y'all take it easy. Let me know how you feel. God bless.